Hi, everyone. My name is Joanna Gordon. I'm the administrative assistant for the flu and immunization program. I'm here today to provide a brief tutorial on how to create a list of the primary care locations in MiChart and also how to add and subtract columns in your schedule, the schedule view. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm already logged into MiChart and I've already selected schedule. So I've selected schedule right here, and this is where I'm at. So what I want to do is click on the green plus sign that says create, and I'm going to label this primary care locations. You can label this anything that you want, whatever makes sense to you. So primary care immunizations schedule, or health centers, whatever makes sense to you. And then the next thing that we're going to do is I've got under selected columns. These are all the columns that are auto-populated into the schedule. But what's missing is primary coverage. And primary coverage is essential when you're working at any of the primary care locations, because you have to select the patient's primary coverage when you're vaccinating. And this will also determine if a patient's VFC or not by their age and the type of insurance that they have. So let's add this column in. Under available columns, you can either scroll down and try to find it, but as you can see, there's a bunch of them. So let's just take the easy way out and search for it. In MiChart, this column is called primary CVG. And then if you hit the magnifying glass, it'll just pop up right here. So select it and then click add column. Now what it's done is it's thrown it at the very bottom of our list here. And that means that when you're looking at the view and you've got all your columns up at the top, it's going to show up on the very far right. And so what you'll need to do is scroll all the way over. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to look at my schedule so I can see all of my patients. I want to see their name. I want to see what their insurance is. So we're going to move this up. So this primary coverage shows up right next to their name. To do that, I'm going to click on this arrow and I'm going to just take it all the way up to the patient's name. Too far, let me go back down. So I've got patient right here, primary coverage is right next to it. So the insurance will show up to the right of the patient's name. Now, before you click accept, we're going to click on the configuration tab up at the top. And this is where we're going to put in the provider's resource or the context, also known as the location. So to find out what the resource is, I would encourage you to go to the Google Sheet that I shared with all of the staff. It's got the primary care locations that we're at. Let me pull it up for you to look at. So this Google spreadsheet should be shared with everyone, but if it's not, then email me. If you can't find it, make sure you're signed into your UMISH Google account. And then if you click on Google Drive, it'll show up in your list. It also will show up in Google Sheets. So this is called the Health Center Clinic Information, and this is for all staff. So this Google Sheet will be modified on a year-to-year basis. This is from last season, and these are the locations that we were at. But under the column Site Context, this is the context that you're going to want to use, and that's what you can reference when you're adding these into MiChart. So let's go back to MiChart, and just for the sake of keeping this video brief, I'm just going to add a couple of the sites that we're at. So let's do Northville. Let's do Brighton, let's do KMS, and let's do East Ann Arbor. Okay, so once you have all of the primary care sites added, click accept. So over under my schedule, here's the list that we just created called primary care locations. And if you click on that arrow, there's all of your clinics. And while I'm filming this, we don't have any patients scheduled. So unfortunately, I wouldn't want you to see patient information anyways, but no patients are going to show up on this list. But if you were to click on, for instance, you're working at Brighton Health Center, you're going to click on BHC and the list of all the patients scheduled for that day are going to show up. You can actually look ahead into the future. Let's say you're working the following Thursday and you want to see how many patients have already had appointments created. You can use the calendar to jump around a little bit. Okay, now, if you are a current employee and you've already done this and you don't want to rework the wheel, you just kind of want to update it. Let's say we're at Saline Health Center this year and we weren't at Saline last year and you want to add it. Well, you don't necessarily want to delete this whole list and restart. You just want to update it. Well, you're going to click on the name. You want to make sure you're not clicked on an actual primary care location. You're going to want to click on the list name. So we're going to click on primary care locations. And then right next to that create, there's a couple of gears. And if you hover over it, it says edit selected schedule. So let's click on that. And that will bring us right back to that page we were just at. And you can go ahead and let's say there's a column that Tracy and I want you to add. You can update it right here. Or let's say there's a column that you're like, this is just like, I don't need this column. It's clogging up the space and you want to delete it. Well, you could go ahead and click on something and delete it. Or you just want to update your primary care locations. And to do that, you're going to go right back to configuration and you're either going to remove something or add it and whatnot. So that's how you do that. Once you're all done, you're going to hit accept and now your location is updated. So that is the training for how to create a list and update your columns. Make sure everyone has primary coverage column added and keep that list updated. It'll help, I think it'll help you out tremendously. If you have any questions on how to do this, as always, you can contact me. If you need to come in and work with me on doing this, I would prefer you email or call me to schedule a time to come in. That way I can have some dedicated time set aside just for you. All right, thank you. Have a great day.